So, all right, so ranked is coming back. Oh, by the way, just to let you all know, for those of you that are going to be seeing this on YouTube, hi, my name is Dom. Welcome back to another video where I roast Wargaming's decisions yet again. Because I've already read the article, I already see what it all is. This is hot garbage. Hot garbage. All right, so this is a flat out L. All right, so I will go through the article. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through the article. I'm going to explain the article and some of the intricacies about what the article's trying to state, give a TLDR, and then give my personal opinion. Okay? So, let's go through this first off. Alright, so, Tank Ace ranked event. Play and earn big. Play the required number of battles. Will select tier 10 tanks to qualify for the daily leaderboards and earn epic rewards. This will be going on from today, the 18th of January, to the 24th. So, one full week. Okay? So, it is a leaderboard style event for ranked. Summary: the commanders will be ranked based on their performance rating. This rating is calculated by comparing your performance in the vehicle/vehicles you're using against the average performance of your opponents in the same tanks. The average performance rating is set to 2,000. That's your bar line. So if your rating is higher than 2,000, that means you're performing better than the average player. So keep it up. Your goal is to have the highest rating possible to make it onto the ranked leaderboard. If you play more than one of the eligible tanks, each vehicle will generate a performance rating as described above. Then it will calibrate to determine your overall rating. So requirements: tier 10 vehicles only, multiplayer. Minimum of 30 battles played using the eligible vehicles by the end of the event. This is where we start to get to the nitty gritty of it, alright? So, first vehicles are going to be as such, for at least for this event. All tier 10s. It's going to be two of the tier 10 Americans, the T110E5 and the T57 Heavy. The next 6 tanks are going to be Russians, the IS-4, the IS-7, the 705A, the 277, the 279E, and the Object 260. All right. You can only play these tanks in order to get the rewards. And by the way, the way that they said it is it would be kind of a collaboration between all of those vehicles. So it's going to be really wonky how they work, but I'll go into that more in a second. Right, let's go through the rest. So event rewards. The Tank Ace ranked event will also have a daily leaderboard. You'll need to play a minimum number of battles in order to appear on the leaderboard for that day. And it's roughly about 5 battles a day. Okay, if you play 5 battles in a tank, you'll show up, right? So day 1, 5 battles. Day 2, 10, 3, 15, so on and so forth, until day 7. Day 7 is going to be the exact same as day 6, which is going to be 30 battles minimum. And mind you, this is 30 battles between any of those tier 8 tanks, or tier 10 tanks. How many are there? 8? Yeah, there's 8 tier 10 tanks. So there you go. And the good news, these are cumulative. This means, for example, that you don't need to play 30 battles on day 7 to qualify. You'll need, however, to play 30 matches throughout the event by the time day 7 ends to be eligible for that day's leaderboard. To calculate your rating for this event, we'll be looking at the following stats: average total damage, directed plus assist, and average base XP. So lock and load and get ready to earn the following rewards with your top tier vehicles. All right, so the number 1 player is going to receive all of these rewards. 2 through 5 will receive these rewards. 6 through 10 will receive these awards. 11 through 25 will receive these awards. 26 through 50 will receive these awards. And 50 through 100 will receive these awards. So, daily leaderboard. First leaderboard update will be tomorrow on January 19th, if you're watching this currently on January 18th of 2022. Important notes: prizing will be done within 72 working hours after the leaderboard has been updated on the final day of the event. Along with this is something that will entice people to play. Tier 10 Double Silver Week is back. So if you're looking to make some money in Tier 10, load up your standard rounds and go in and shoot every fucking TD and light tank on the field. This is your moment. Every match will be ×2 silver as long as you do one of the 3 things. First, deal at least 500 damage to enemy tanks in a battle. For most tier 10s, that's roughly about 1 to 2 shots. Super easy. Deal at least 500 spot assist damage to enemy tanks in a battle. Again, roughly 1 to 2 shots if your teammates are not idiots. And detect 2 or more enemy tanks in a surviving battle. A little bit more difficult, but this is mostly for the light tank and spotting medium players. So they had to add something there. The restrictions, this is only for the World War II mode, for Tier 10 only, and it's multiplayer only, it excludes co-op. So, now that I've gone over the entirety of the event, let me break this down, alright? So, like they said, you can play any of these tanks, and it'll accumulate the amount of points per tank, and smash them all together to make your overall leaderboard. From what I'm gathering, this is what everything is going on. So, I'm not a fan, okay? I want to make this very apparent. This is not ranked. Okay, this is not ranked. This is not our classic 7v7. This is not the stereotypical shit that you would normally have. Okay, this is very poorly done. All right. First of all, the fact that you're limiting it to 8 tanks, 2 of which are American, and 6 of which are Russian. Not everyone likes these tanks, Wargaming. So, basically for people that have only 1 to 2 tier 10s, this pretty much screws them, right? So, for example, I own 2 of these. I have been playing actively since 2018. I own the 57 Heavy, and I own the Object 260. Out of 8 tanks, I own 2 of them. So that's really bad for players that are actually actively trying to play. Okay. Number 2, this makes it very, very difficult in Tier 10 because, well, let's be real. There are going to be players that are going to be hit squatting. Right. There's a lot of streamers that may be going for this event. We're probably going to end up getting stream sniped and put down on the boards. I also predict that the majority of the players that are going to be playing this, specifically these tanks, are going to be the best of the best because the rewards are, well, I mean, the top 1 gets the best rewards. All the rewards after top 1 are, in my opinion, hot garbage. They're not worth it. Your time or your money. The chances of you, the average player, trying to get into the top 100 is very slim. Right, unless we see a lot of people actively participating. So watch out this week specifically. If you're someone who likes to ruin people's fun, if you see any of these tanks on the battlefield, murder them immediately and ruin their possibility of getting it. Now, here is something that needs to be noted. All right, so it states here that it'll be the minimum number of battles in order to appear on the leaderboard of that day. So, it's going to be 30 battles. Now, I do not know if this is going to take your 30 best battles or if it's just going to be the 30 most recent. I would assume that it's probably your 30 best. I don't know, though. They didn't really state that in the article. So, at least as far as I can see. Yeah, they didn't really state it in here. So I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to just assume because normally when something like this comes out for any game, it's normally they discredit your shittier games. So that's at least what I'm hoping for. I mean, you can bang out every game. You can bang out 30 games in a single day. So there's that. The other thing that I'm not a fan of is it's only taking combined damage and base XP. I'm not a fan of this. I don't like the fact that it's not equating other things, such as block damage, total spots, denying points, such as like resetting a cap, doesn't help with medals, right? Medals are a huge thing in this game, right? And so, yeah. So, and again, the only good reward is the first place reward, which I guarantee you, unless you're like one of 5 players, 5 very specific players, chances are you're not getting this. So you might as well shoot for at least the bottom 50. Shoot for 50 to 100. That's your best bet, right? Which the rewards aren't great. You get some silver and a little bit of free XP, but it's kind of ass. So, yeah. So, the daily leaderboard will be posted. I believe it'll be posted here. I don't know how they're going to do it, if they'll post the number one player for each tank, or if they'll just post the number one of all the tanks combined. We'll see. We'll see. We'll take a look at it tomorrow when it updates. It'll probably update first thing in the morning during the reset for, bounties and shit. So, yeah. I'm not a fan. Um, After waiting months and months and months for ranked, this was not it, Chief. This was not it. So we've gone through the article. We've articulated on what the article's trying to say. Uh, what was my third thing? Screw it. I don't really care. Now it's time for my opinion. All right. So let me make something very clear. All right. Sorry, I have to reset my PlayStation, otherwise it'll go to sleep. If this, now I haven't watched the streamers recently, but if they're trying to make this a replacement for ranked battles, this is not it, Chief. This is never going to replace 7v7 ranked battles. Alright? This will never... First of all, it's a leaderboard in pub games. That's never a good idea. There are way too many variables in pub matches to ever get a solid set in. Right? Like, I could be... Like, a shitter like me can be on a roll for 10, 15 games, so roughly about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then I get shit on for the next 6 because I don't know what the hell's going on with my teams, or the Reds are literally just super unis all over. So, like, pub matches is a terrible place to hold this. Number 2, the fact that we still haven't gotten a 7v7 ranked yet, after how long, is whack, right? In my opinion, the rewards for actually playing ranked are, at least old school ranked, the 7v7, was worth the grind, right? And it was a nice flex, right? You got to Chief Grandmaster, you got to show off your emblems on the tanks, you got the free special skins or camos that you could only get through ranked. It's a nice flex. It's a nice flex. This, no. Now, here's what I will say, okay? This is what I will say. If this isn't to fully replace ranked battles, and this is an event that'll just, randomly show up throughout a month, like if they do this event, if they do something like this, right, and they do this alongside the 7v7 ranked battles, like say for example, ranked battles normally was held once a weekend during a month, right? One ranked battle per month. It went from Friday night to Monday morning, right? And then they did this 2 weeks after that, 2 weekends after that. So that way every 2 weeks you had some form of ranked battle. I would honestly be okay with this, all right? Like this overall as a concept is not terrible. I think there's definitely a lot of places to improve. Number 1, you've got to increase this tank list. The fact that it is strictly heavy tanks, and 2 of them are American, and 6 of them are fucking Russian? Bruh, come on now. Really? Like, this is so fucked. This part right here, I'm not a fan of. If they did several tanks, right? If they did, like, 2 tanks from each region, so let's say, for example, they just rolled the dice, and, because there's, like, what, 7 tier 10 Americans, like 6 or 7 tier 10 Americans, and they're like, all right, we're going to pull 2 from the Americans, 2 from the British, 2 from the Russian, 2 from the Germans, and let's say this week we'll do the Italian, right? Let's do the Progettos and call it there, right? That's okay, because then you're incorporating more regions. And you're giving much more playstyle, and then you roll the dice on, all right, are we getting light tanks? Are we going to get mediums for this region? Are we going to get heavies? Or are we going to do arty and be scumbags? Like, this right here can definitely be improved upon. I think that the current setup that they have for this, garbage. I think if they set this up to be a little bit better, like if they incorporated more regions, right? Give me 2 of the main regions, right? By main regions, I mean the Americans, the Russians, the British, the Germans, the French, and I would argue, I think the Chinese, because they've also got, what, like 5 tier 10s? So If you took those major regions and then took like two from like two of them and then like one or two of the other lines, for example, like the Czechoslovakian or the Polish, that would be pretty cool. Like then you've got number one, you have a wide range. Not everybody plays heavy tanks. That way you've got something for everyone. For example, as a light tank medium player, I cry at this. Like this is depressing. I can't play any of my mediums. I can't play any of my lights. I have to play the 57 heavy or the 260 because those are the only two heavies in this list I own. That's pretty sad. Like that's very exclusive. Right? Now, for older players of the game, this isn't going to matter as much because most of the older players normally have the majority of the tanks, especially the Russians, since the Russians are, well, one of the first three major lines that were available. So, I think this can be improved on. If this gets improved on, if they do this again, I definitely think that there is some viability. All right? The rewards let's go through the battles first. Let's just go through everything here. The event rewards, I don't have a problem with this. That way, it's honestly this part, I'm actually not too mad about, right? I'm actually pretty happy about this, right? 5 battles a day. Manage 5 battles a day in a tank. That's roughly about an hour. Even people getting off, like, that work, 8, 9, 10-hour shifts can still log on and still participate. And if they've got a day off, they can bang out even more battles. So that way, if they're not able to make it one day, they can still catch up. So I'm not, honestly, this part, I'm happy about. This is a nice touch. This is a good port of the event to where you can choose to bang out all 30 battles, or you can do it little by little. That way, you don't have to play the tanks over and over again and get sick of them, right? This part right here, the average total damage and the average base XP, kind of ass, all right? Again, I would like more variables. I'd like blocked. I'd like to see how many medals you can acquire. I think the amount of medals would also, every medal or certain medals give you a certain amount of points. I think would be really, really cool. Seeing block damage is pretty impressive for a lot of heavy. Like, here's a big thing. They're using heavy classes, but they ain't got block damage in here. That's absurd. And you've got not just one, not just two, but 6 fucking Russian heavies. What? And you're not going to include block damage? That's whack. That is whack. Now, if they do light tanks and mediums, I would like to see them do spots, like total spots, get a decent amount of points, number of spotting assist. Specifically, something that I really think would be really good is the amount of times you crit something. Like you break a track, you break an engine, you set someone on fire, you kill someone's crew member. I would like to see that because a lot of players specifically aim for those. So if you give them more incentive to play better, well then, there you go. I think it'd be a really nice touch. And in my opinion, the rewards, ass. Straight ass. All right? Because the problem that I have with this, right, from what I am reading and what I am getting, right, what I am getting is these are grouped together as far as I know of. It's just score. No, hold on. If you play with more than one of the eligible tanks, each vehicle will generate a performance rating as described above. Then it will calibrate to determine your overall rating. Yeah, so if you play with like 3 or 4 of the vehicles, from what the article says here, it'll combine into one score. So the fact that only one person gets all this, not a fan of. I would have liked to see it be for individual tanks. I mean, I get it. It's to show overall performance. I do have a problem with the current tank setup because I guarantee you a lot of players are going to be playing the IS-4, the T-57, and probably the 705A. Those are probably going to be the best tanks to farm. The IS-4 got insane buffs a while back. The 57 is a DPS machine, and the 705A is well, it's the 705A. Do I really need to go in about it? So, yeah, not entirely a fan. I would have liked for it to be, at least from what I'm getting for the article, I would have liked for it to be for each individual tank. That way, everyone could flex, be like, "Oh, I got number one on the E5. Yeah, bro, I got number one on the 57 heavy. Both of yous, shut up. I got number one on the 705A." Like how hard of a flex would that be? Like you roll up into this out of 8 tanks, you were number one, not on one, not two, but maybe 3 boards, would be pretty insane. Like it's wild. It's wild. So, and I don't like the rewards, right? I think the total amount of rewards, in my opinion, is really really bad. Because unless you're making it in the top 25, it's really not worth your time. Um, and the only reason why the top 25 is worth it is just because you get a confidential key card. So you have a chance of getting a premium tank. You either get a new one or you can get an old one, which could give you duplicate gold. Um, so unless you're going to try and aim for 25 and up, I don't recommend playing this set unless you don't mind um, getting a little bit extra silver and free XP. I mean, free X and it's a pretty negligible amount of free XP. 2,625 for 50 people. So you know what? Let me do the math on that real quick. So if they're giving out 2,600, 625 XP times 50, that is a total of 131,250 XP. So overall, that's pretty decent for an amount, but you only get to 2,625 for one person, which is kind of whack. Like the first place gets not crazy good rewards, right? Like the 1 million silver, pretty decent. 7 days of premium, eh. I think if you're going to be number one, you should at least give the fucker a 30-day. Like, bruh, they placed number one amongst all the shitters. Give them 30 days. They get 2 confidential key cards, 2 classifieds, and 1 top secret. I would have liked to see 2 top secret here. Because I would have liked to see 1 top secret and 2 classified for the top 2 to 5, and then I would have liked to see 2 top secret here. And then the free XP again is negligible. 30,000 free XP, kind of useless, right? If you own every tank in the game, who the fuck cares about 30,000 free XP? Like that's not even enough to like go through a module on a tier 8 or tier 9. Well, maybe for some modules, but like it's not going to get you a good chunk of the way. You're still going to have to grind 50, 60, 70 games to get out of it, right? So yeah. Overall, again, I haven't watched the stream, so I don't know if this is to replace regular ranked. If this is to replace regular ranked, this is not the move, Chief. If this is to be played as opposites of the ranked system, as in we'll get regular 7v7 ranked back, and we'll get this, I think this is an okay addition if you tweak a little thing. So, but yeah. Overall, that's what we got to today. So thank you all. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Good hunting.